is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
All right, stand up for what you believe in. If you're told to do something stupid and immoral, defy them. Pretend it's King. It actually is King George. Welcome back to Ted Nugent's Spirit Campfire, where piss and vinegar is the brew of the day. Broiling over with cayenne pepper. Go to thenightlynuge.com. It's got the Mojo signature. I've signed every one of them. We have an assembly line every day. We donate to charities, thousands of charities, and the people who are donating to the different charities, Red Cross, I guess you go to redcross.com, you're find a charity you trust.
Samaritan's Purse.
America's Purse?
No, Samaritan's Purse.
Samaritan's Purse.
And I sent Linda and Parker a QR code if people want to help people who are rescuing.
Yeah.
Really boots on the ground. Spencer from Florida has been very active.
I like boots on the ground and boots up their ass. But go ahead.
He probably will do both, but he's actually going house to house, making wellness checks, saving dogs too. Mm-hmm. They're cooking. He and his buddies are cooking burgers and bringing them to people and animals. And
who's doing that?
Spencer from Florida.
Spencer and Glenn Beck's down there.
Yep.
Lieutenant Colonel
Pete Chambers
and Michael. We got a bunch of friends that have gone to the hell zone. And a big salute to all Americans who help Americans, even in spite of the jackbooted goons of the federal agencies who literally think you need paperwork, authorized government-issued paperwork for your Second Amendment. Oh, or for your First Amendment, or to help your fellow Americans. FEMA literally is stopping Americans from helping Americans. Well, that's not true, Ted, said Joe Biden, and you can't manipulate the weather. And Joe Biden is a goon, freak, zombie, devil, liar. So anyhow, Shemane's got information. He goes, well, you can't manipulate the weather, except since 1947, the government has come out and said, we can control the weather. In fact, Lyndon Baines Johnson, what a prick. What a corrupt, power-abusing, oath-violating bastard Lyndon Baines Johnson was. And he came out there and said, those who control the weather control the world. That's right. Except now Joe Biden says nobody's controlling the weather. So you've dug deep into it on Shemane's faith and freedom. You got to come to the real faith and freedom. Thank you, Real America's Voice. Tell everybody you know. Shemane, what have you discovered? It is irrefutable. The evidence is absolutely irrefutable that the government can control the weather. How do they do that?
So there is another acronym called HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program.
A government program.
A government program. And if you know, what I want to say is do your own research. Really dive in deep. On my Faith and Freedom show this week, I have Alex Jones, who has done that.
Alex Jones is great.
Alex has, he's going to talk about patents. The government has taken out patents to manipulate and control the weather.
As they took out patents on a fake vaccine and then the medicine to cure those who were stupid enough to take the vaccine.
Oh, no.
The fake vaccine.
Now, I hear, I don't know for sure, but I hear that Pfizer is coming out with some medication to counter the effects of the vaccine.
You think?
And anyway, so look up HAARP, look up Direct
HAARP,
Energy.
HAARP.
High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program, Oral Research Program. And what they do is they are talking about the ionosphere and how to, like Ted said, that if you control the weather, you can control the people. So imagine, if you will, you don't want to go to war with another country, but maybe you could just displace a lot of their humanity. Or imagine, if you will, there's a lithium mine. This is hypothetical.
No, hypothetical.
There's a lithium mine in North Carolina that somebody wants to buy, but they don't want to pay full price. So let's just, they
destroy everything.
Again, this is just hypothetical.
So they say
they could
allegedly
flood out the area. And isn't it interesting, Ted, that 300 miles from water, they had a hurricane.
Not only
there.
that, but at 2,000 feet elevation, they had floods. Since when does water get up 2,000 feet?
Yeah, so it's important to do your own research. Alex Jones is joining me on my show, my Faith and Freedom show, that's going to be available right after you watch Ted's show, and you can watch it live on Real America's Voice Sunday mornings at 10. But all throughout the weekend, you'll be able to get it, and then it'll be there. But Alex has the documents. He has done the research. I've dug down, not as far as Alex has done, but look up HAARP, look up DO, and then there's another, we're going to be coming out with more information on what's going on in Antarctica, which is it's like HAARP on steroids. And this is all documented information.
Thank God for the Freedom of Information Act, FOIA. I wonder when FOIA was passed and who pushed to pass it so that we, the people, get all the information that we pay the research to discover, obtain, and implement. Well, since when can the government use our tax dollars and not let us know what the tax dollars are used for? And I'll tell you, since 53, since 1953.
Here's an interesting observation. If somebody, a private citizen like, I don't know, Bill Gates maybe, gets involved in weather modification, FOIA doesn't pertain to him. So I'm just saying, this is hypothetical.
Yeah.
Do your own research. But guys, it's looking more and more like what has been going on has been actively modified by some government agency, non-government agency, somebody. But here's the good news. We know that prayer works. Everybody I know has been praying. When we found out that Hurricane Milton was hitting Florida yet again, 2 weeks after another hurricane did, we prayed. That hurricane went from a Cat 5 to a Cat 4 to a Cat 3. Now, still a lot of people lost their homes, but it could have been much worse. And look up the bell. Have you heard of the idea about the bells?
Sure.
So the frequency, that's why HAARP is so important. Frequency can modify weather. Look that up.
I wonder if it has anything to do with all these 5G towers around. When you're sitting right next to it, it does not enhance your telephone cell signal, but they're everywhere. People, I'm telling you, those that claim conspiracy theorists, they're just comfortably numb, which is actually uncomfortably dumb. Why are you going to knock that guitar down? Oh, jeez. So anyhow, yes, look into it. I can't, as much as I just admire Dan Bongino and Glenn Beck and Jesse Waters and Tucker Carlson and so many others.
Alex Jones. There's some.
Raising hell, Shemane Nugent.
Well, thank you. I've learned from you. I've seen you for all these years we've been married, 36 years we've been together, and you've been defying so many people who have told you, Ted, don't talk about hunting, don't talk about guns when you're doing radio interviews. But you did, and that's what I've learned. And you know what? Here's the other thing. A lot of people have said, what can I do? What can I do? You can do what Ted does. You can do what I do. You can do what Jackson does, and be active. Be active. Don't just sit back where 50% of hunters don't vote, 50% of Christians don't vote. We have got to, evil happens. Evil exists because good people like you who are watching this right now do nothing. So be like Jackson. Be active.
He is such a great, by the way, as we identify the pain and suffering, our prayers continue for all the victims of the hurricanes and the weather manipulation, and everybody has their cross to bear. But let me just exalt and celebrate that it is October, and in just a few weeks we can determine whether there's going to be an America or not. Because this next election, if you can vote for a cackling, lying, I mean, I don't attack the Democrats personally, but their policies are just.
This is real. This is live.
This is broken. There you go. Jackson, don't break my guitars, buddy. He likes me to play guitar music, because. It is October, and there is unlimited soul cleansing available. By the way, this autographed Fred Bear guitar is available to raise money for the Ted Nugent Camp for Kids now that we have the statue of Fred in Grayling. Thank God for Fred Bear Day, people. FredBearDay.com. But this guitar, personally autographed, is available by emailing toby at thenightlynuge.com. And it brings much mojo, and it plays really good. In fact, I'm on my way to Sunrise Acres, talking about soul cleansing. When I play the guitar, when I go to Sunrise Acres, when I hug Shemane, when I take, thank you, by the way, James Bowler's Game Birds, Bird Dogs and Guide Service in Mississippi. He sent us some quail. Jackson and Sadie and Coco and me, when we're out there working the fields and the pucker brush and walking through the swamps.
Hunting with the dogs is
it's perfect.
Is
it's heaven.
As much for you watching the dogs as it is for the dogs and for you personally.
So celebrate the hunting season. If you haven't tried hunting, go down to your local sporting goods shop and find somebody that will mentor you. I'm telling you, when you leave the pavement, leave the chaos of the world, and you're actually participating in God's renewable natural season of harvest, your spirit will glow as if there's no evil in the world, at least temporarily, and it will strengthen and fortify you to fight harder. So please go to huntthevote.org. Huntthevote.org. Because if conservatives and conservationists and constitutionalists vote, we can save America. Please, I love you people. We'll be back in a minute.